Welcome to a new video where we explore horror in its purest and most minimalist form. Today, we'll talk about 3 gripping short films by the talented director Dylan Clark. This independent filmmaker has made a name for himself in the horror genre with his works full of tension, unsettling atmospheres, and disturbing endings. In this video, we will analyze Home Movies, 2020, Behind the Frame, 2021, and Storytime, 2024, 3 shorts that immerse us in psychological fear and the unknown. Through an intelligent use of sound, visuals, and storytelling, Dylan Clark manages to create terrifying experiences in just a few minutes, leaving the audience with a lingering sense of unease long after they finish. If you're a fan of subtle horror, unsettling stories, and the feeling that something is watching you from the shadows, this video is for you. Join us as we dive into the horror cinema of Dylan Clark. I can see you.
Did you have to?
Home Movies is a 2020 horror short film directed by Dylan Clark. The plot follows a young woman who, while reviewing old home movies in her basement, discovers something strange and disturbing in the footage. What begins as a nostalgic journey quickly turns into a terrifying experience when she realizes there's a sinister presence in the tapes, an entity that seems to be getting closer to her. The short film has a runtime of approximately 6 minutes and stars Hannah Clark and Alice Clark.
Can we go find Hannah? Do you think she's hiding in the closet? Let's go find her. Having fun at the bar fire. Having fun at the bar fire, you know.
Show one to the camera hand. Let's see. It's like I flipped. Flip on my hand. Oh, look at this treasure trove.
Hannah, where are you going?
This way.
That's what you learned in class? Where are you going? Should we go find Hannah? Do you think she's hiding in the closet? Let's go find her.
Behind the Frame is a 2020 horror short film directed by Dylan Clark. The story follows a young girl who discovers strange photographs that alter the world around her. As she examines these images, she realizes that each one can physically manifest the material depicted in the photograph into the real world. First, a jewelry box, then a picture frame, and finally, something sinister. This approximately 7-minute short film offers a haunting and chilling experience.
Having fun at the fireplace,
Show one to the camera hand. Let's see. It's like I flipped. Flip on my hand. Oh, look at this treasure trove.
Hannah, where are you going?
This way.
That's what you learned in class? Where are you going?
Behind the Frame is a 2020 horror short film directed by Dylan Clark. The story follows a young girl who discovers strange photographs that alter the world around her. As she examines these images, she realizes that each one can physically manifest the material depicted in the photograph into the real world. First, a jewelry box, then a picture frame, and finally, something sinister. This approximately 7-minute short film offers a haunting and chilling experience. Storytime is a 2024 horror short film directed by Dylan Clark. The line between fiction and reality is blurred when an audiobook narrator becomes self-aware of his listener. The short film has a runtime of approximately 7 minutes and stars Sidney Broomfield, with Sam Roberts providing the voice of the narrator.
I could tell you now how this one ends, but it wouldn't have the same impact. Not yet, anyway. It's not until you see yourself in the story, until it feels real, that you become truly invested. Don't get too invested. This was something Poppy had to keep in mind. She was a hospice worker, which required a certain level of detachment to protect herself from the pain of her patients' inevitable ends. However, Poppy couldn't wait for Mr. Cresswell to die. His coughing fits unsettled her. His delusions drove her mad. And now, as she prepared to sew up a tear in his nightgown, she wished more than ever for his swift demise. Poppy opened a drawer to retrieve a needle and felt a chill in the air. Why, oh why, did Mr. Cresswell insist on leaving the windows open? Distracted, Poppy's hand slipped. She pricked herself with the needle and watched as a spot of blood bloomed on Mr. Cresswell's gown. Then, from the other room, she thought she heard something. One of Mr. Cresswell's sickly coughs. She listened carefully. There it was again. Poppy didn't want to, but she knew she should check to see if he was okay. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet as she approached the room. As usual, there lay Mr. Cresswell, tucked under the covers of his bed. He was so weak, it sometimes looked as though he were dead already. But no. He was still very much alive. Don't open the door, Mr. Cresswell rasped. Something outside wants to hurt us. Please, don't leave me. Don't let it in. Nowhere to run, puppy. Stay with me. Poppy hid. She could hear Mr. Cresswell pleading with her through the door. Don't leave. Please, Poppy, I need you. Mr. Cresswell rose from the bed. He was coming to find her. Coming to stop her from leaving. Coming to keep her. To let her know just how badly he needed her. To teach her that there would be consequences if she were to ever disappoint him like this. Mr. Cresswell was just outside the door. He stood there, unmoving. Now our story is coming to a close. And dear Poppy is out of time. The Short Frights podcast presents Poppy's story, written by R.M. Lyle. Stories take time to sink their teeth into us. I could tell you now how this one ends. Don't you want to know how it ends, Poppy? I'll show you. Mr. Cresswell took her delicate face and slammed it into the ground over and over until the floorboards splintered. He thrashed her about the room until her body was mangled and bent, until she was nearly unrecognizable. And so ended Poppy's story.
We've explored 3 gripping short films by the talented Dylan Clark, each with its own unique style of delivering psychological horror. From the eerie atmosphere of home movies, through the unsettling visuals of Behind the Frame, to the chilling storytelling of Storytime, we've seen how horror can manifest in subtle yet deeply disturbing ways. This kind of cinema proves that fear doesn't need big effects or visible monsters to be effective. Sometimes, the most terrifying things are those we can barely comprehend. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more horror content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos from Dare Quiz. Let us know in the comments which of these short films scared you the most, or if you have any recommendations for future videos. See you in the next video, and remember, true terror might be closer than you think.